fakes the handoff, keeps himself. Running QB, picks up about a yard there. Second down and goal coming up.
And it wouldn't be surprising at all, again, given the sort of running back by committee and the creativity involved, to see an expanded package involving Dustin Crum in this one as well. Terrific rushing quarterback, led the all CFL quarterbacks in rush yards in 2023.
Back-to-back 11-play drives here for Ottawa. The 11th one of this one coming up. You saw the difference in plays. A very different start, where the Argos, as said last week or 2 weeks ago, scored in their first 4 possession. End zone look. Touchdown!
Wow.
Oh, what a catch by Braylon Addison. He was well covered. He went up for it. And the Redblacks setting a very different tone so far in this playoff game.
Well, complete reversal, as you said, of that game 2 weeks ago where the Argos dominated the time of possession. Braylon Addison on the left side. Essentially picks that one off the nameplate of Royce Metier, who is in coverage. Nice adjustment to the ball there by the veteran Braylon Addison in his 6th CFL season.
With Metier right there with him. Addison, and a big touchdown, and a 10-point lead in back-to-back drives of 11 plays each. First the field goal, then this. Touchdown Addison. Redblacks on top.
This program is extremely important to give women an opportunity to get their foot in the door.
I absolutely would never have had an opportunity like this had the program not been available.
Camp has provided me with a lot of hands-on exposure that I didn't think I would get.
There's nothing really like that feeling when you get goosebumps after a game-winning play. So I wanted to have a career where I could help make those moments happen.
It gives women a chance to make a difference that we might not have otherwise been given, which is amazing.
There's the man of the moment, Braylon Addison. With the game's first touchdown, he's going to motion out of the backfield, work towards the corner, the free safety. Royce Metier is following him. It looks at the tail end of this one. Ball's in the air. As Metier gets his head around in time, but the ball actually thrown behind the defender as you see Addison adjust, reach over top to make the grab.
In his 6th year out of Oregon, started his CFL career with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Just like Jalen Ackland is shaking his hand, but what a big moment for him. And this touchdown for Ottawa as Richie Leone kicks it off. Goes to Denarian Grant inside the 20. And he gets up across the 40. So for Tommy Condell, Drew Brown, and the way that they've been using all their offensive weapons so far, assertive, much different than 2 weeks ago for the Redblacks offense, and a 10-0 Ottawa lead.
There is something remarkable happening here, and anyone who hasn't got the message that the CFL is alive and thriving is just not paying attention. This has been a truly amazing time for us.
He's going to get to midfield. There's a block. Hogan with the house call. Down the field. Keyshawn Johnson. Fajardo throwing towards the corner. One hand, and they got him. An unreal play by Speaker.
Randy Oliveira! Touchdown!
Again, flea flicker. Ford comes back to get it. Makes a man miss. Touchdown.
Roll on him again. He still goes for the touchdown. What a...
What's up, football fans? Thanks for hanging out with us today for the CFL Eastern Semifinal. Argos! Let's go, Argos! Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like button down below. Let's bring more football fans and CFL fans here to the chat to hang out and watch every game of the CFL playoffs together right here on TSI. Now, as well, please share the link. Send it out to as many places as you can. Get it up on social media. When we get external clicks, when that gets clicked, when you send it out there, YouTube loves it. And then they send more CFL fans to hang out with us during this Eastern semifinal. Let's get back to the football. Let's go, Argos. See you back in the chat.
Knowing the energy of this team, that fast start, what kind of leadership role have you tried to play to get your team ready for this week? I know you've been DJing at practice too.
Yeah, just making sure that I'm bringing the same energy that I was bringing on the field. That's why the DJ thing started, right? I want to be the party starter at all times, no matter what I'm doing. But it's important for them just to feel my energy, feel my presence. And they've been doing a hell of a job this week. Hell of a job. We got practice. Energy's been high. The playoff game, and we ready to play today.
It looked really jittery on the sidelines. I saw Lorenzo Malden and Darius Bladdock kind of almost looked like they were going to fight each other. They were getting ready for this game. Take us through the pulse of what this team is feeling right now, especially being up 10.
It's really unexplainable right now. I mean, the energy in the locker room, we felt it. It's the playoffs. We ready to have some fun. We ready to dominate today. And I mean, as of right now, that's exactly what we're doing.
Thanks, Darius. Wish you were out there.
Thank you. I wish I was too.
You can be sure the Redblacks wish that too. And hey, just because he can't play doesn't mean he can't keep starting the party. Darius Pickett. First down Argos on that pass to Kevin Mittell. Another one. Another catch too. Mackay Pope down at the Redblacks 35. So Chad Kelly and the Argonaut offense in response down 10, working quickly down the field.
Yeah, tremendous response here by the Argonauts. And a beautiful throw here from Chad Kelly. Nice placement to his leading receiver, Mackay Polk. Those two really catching fire down the stretch this season.
Polk's numbers really jumping off the page in the last 6 games. Back to the ground, Kadeem Carey trying to push it down closer to the 30.
We mentioned earlier the Argos with a pair of guys with 8 sacks. Lorenzo Malden and Mike Wakefield for Ottawa also in that 5-way tie for the league lead with 8 sacks. Bennett Williams sat out last week, but he draws in place of the injured Darius Pickett at that nickel linebacker spot. Keep an eye on Damon Webb at the boundary half. 2 pick sixes for him off Chad Kelly when these two teams met in September.
And there was a holding penalty in the left guard, Dylan Giffen, pushing the Argos back to the Ottawa 44 and a 1st and 20. Kelly running a draw to Deontay McMahon, finds some room. Money Hunter, the safety, coming in to help out with the tackle, and Javon Santos Knox. Still a 2nd and long coming up here for Toronto.
Santos Knox had a stint on the 6-game injured list, but healthy for the stretch run, certainly easing some of the pain of the loss of a Darius Pickett as he provides some leadership and energy on that defense.
He was missing for about a 2-month stretch. 2nd and 13 to the right, incomplete. 3rd down coming up. Late here in the 1st quarter, the intended target, David Unger.
Yeah, and it looked like Kelly and Unger maybe got their signals crossed a little bit on that one. Ryan Dinwiddie looking to get things clarified on the sidelines.
And so Lirim Hajrullahu, in his first year back in the CFL, back with the Argos where he won a Grey Cup in 2017. He was 55 of 61, the longest of 51. This one will be put down by John Haggerty inside the 44 for Hajrullahu. For the Argos' first points of the game, and he gets it. Field goal Toronto, and that is quarter time. So it does end on a positive note for the Argos with points on the board. But the Redblacks serving notice this will be a much different game than the one Toronto dominated through 3 quarters 2 weeks ago here at BMO Field. After 1, 10-3 Ottawa.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online and amsoil.ca.
Everyone has different backgrounds, and I think that is very important that all backgrounds get represented.
Being somebody who represents diversity, I love to see it when we're giving those people opportunities and allowing them to grow.
It's getting to know people who have different point of view about the game of football, but it's also coming with your own perspective, your own point of view, and then what you can bring.
You get a lot of support, a lot of friendships, a lot of amazing memories.
It's something that I would do 100 times over.
At this point 2 weeks ago, the Argos led by 3 touchdowns, about to make it 4. Redblacks offense staying on the field, Dwayne, much different so far in a 10-3 lead.
Yeah, and that time of possession, obviously the biggest turnaround from the last meeting between these two teams. We remember joking after that when the Argos had won the time of possession battle. By the time the third quarter was over, that's how one-sided it was. They were dominating with the running game, holding onto the ball. Again, people wondered whether Ottawa, without a traditional run game, so to speak, would be able to sort of even out that time of possession, stay on the field, keep the Argo defense out there for extended periods, but they've demonstrated with their high percentage passing game, some creativity offensively, that so far they have been able to accomplish just that.
Well, this is possession number 3, 2 11-play drives. Brown is 11 of 14, including a lot of those short passes you talked about. Working for Ottawa, but a pump fake, and he is sacked again. This time it's Jordan Williams, the Argo rookie, coming in, getting a chance to play in this game and getting the sack there, and a big loss for Ottawa.
Yeah, Jordan Williams, number 95, getting in on that D-line rotation. And there alongside Ralph Hawley. Nice swim over top there. Puts the right guard, Dariusz Bladek, in a tough position.
Not to be confused with former national linebacker Jordan Williams, who retired after last season and had been with the Argos. 2nd and 20. And dumping it over, coming across is Pimpleton. Again, trying to get these speedy, athletic receivers in space, see what they can do after, but that time not nearly enough. Still a 3rd and 10 coming up. Get back to the original line of scrimmage, and Richie Leone will come on to punt it away.
Argos at least stemming some of that Ottawa momentum. The good offensive drive that put 3 points on the board, followed up by this 2-and-out provided by the defense. We'll see what Janarian Grant can do here on special teams.
Leone standing at his 25. Janarian Grant standing at his 25. And he gets it just outside that, and he backtracks to go to the right. Looking to find the edge, and he is taken down just over the 30. Well, Gray presents the next chapter in the Batman saga, starring Academy Award nominee Colin Farrell, The Penguin. An HBO original limited series is streaming now, only on Crave. Started watching this, Mr. Ford.
You started watching?
2 thumbs up so far.
Yeah, I have heard rave reviews from you and our statistician today, John Perlbert. Big fan of The Penguin.
Burley likes it. First and 10 at the Argo 32. The last time they had the ball. Late in the first quarter, drove down and got in range for a Lirim Hairelahu field goal. But so far, on both sides of the ball, it's been a different story compared to that last meeting. Because both of the regular season meetings were one-sided in the first half. The one in Ottawa in Week 14. At halftime, the Redblacks led 31-3. Trying to run, and again, one big difference you're noticing so far is the run defense for the Redblacks. Well, DeMonte Coxey, one of their top receivers, and suffered just a terrible knee injury last week against the Edmonton Elks.
Well, there you can see that leg getting whipped around. Coxey been practicing, worked out prior to this game. Game time decision. Argos deciding to hold him out of this one. He's not quite there.
2nd and 9. Oh, Kelly's hit hard. Sacked. Lorenzo Malden coming in. Not only took Kelly down, but he really decked him. And Kelly taking a knee again, needing some time before he does get up to walk off the field.
Malden on the right side of your screen. There's a bust in that protection scheme.
And the
some miscommunication. Guy who leads the league in QB pressures comes through unblocked, pops the ball loose, and Bennett Williams with the recovery.
Not only the sack, but you see that ball come loose. Forcing a fumble is Malden. Ottawa ball in the Argos zone with a 10-3 lead.
Step into the action with CFL Game Zone. Play games, win prizes, and connect with fans from across the world. Join the ultimate CFL fan experience today at gamezone.cfl.ca.
Hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. The one that's watching the CFL playoffs with us here on TSI. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and listening to the game. Now, please help us continue to grow this awesome Toronto sports community by hitting that subscribe button and turning on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single CFL playoff game, every single Argos game this season, every single Leafs game, every single Raptors game. We do Toronto sports right here on TSI. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate you helping us continue to grow. We'll see you back in the chat. Good luck to your team. But let's go Argos. Let's be serious. Argos!
There's the man of the moment. Lorenzo Malden comes up big. Left side of your screen. Dejan Allen, the right tackle. Ended up not blocking anyone on that play. He started off fanning out and then realized too late that Malden was his guy, couldn't bounce back in. He saw Chad Kelly looking a little irked, eyeing up that O-line as he went back to the bench, making sure they get things straight.
At the Toronto 23 Redblacks and Drew Brown, he steps up, being chased, looks to the end zone, nearly intercepted. Deshaun Amos, who leads the Argos in interceptions, nearly had one there in the end zone to snuff out that Ottawa drive. And he knows it.
Yeah, Amos and Metier both back there thinking they might have had a shot at this ball. Rare bad decision for Drew Brown, or he just didn't get enough on the ball as Jalen Ackman had some room in behind those two defenders. Throw is short. Ottawa lucky to avoid the turnover there.
Metier might have had a shot at it with Amos deflecting it in front of him. 2nd and 10 at the 23, and it's whistled down before the snap of the football, and a flag comes out.
Down violation, Ottawa number 3. This is a 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
As announced by the referee Andre Prue, as it goes back to the Argo 28 now for 2nd and long.
Well, we've already got a bit of a sense of what both of these two defensive lines can do, particularly when you get into the more obvious pass situations.
4-man rush. It's complete. It's Nick Marner inside the 15. Puts his head down, and he gets close to the 10, and it looks like a first down for the Redblacks on that 2nd and long conversion.
A nice effort here by big Nick Marner after the catch. A lot of room underneath there. Big target, 6'6", just coming on the under route from the wide side of the field.
knocks it down to the Argo 12. Redblacks have the lead, looking for more after the turnover. The toss and the reverse. The Pimpleton finds the edge, but not much more. And he keeps his feet. He's still trying, but the Argos do have him swarmed. Not much of a pickup there. In fact, a loss of about a foot or two for the Redblacks.
Yeah, trying to get one of their fastest players out in space on the wide side of the field. But good disciplined defensive play here by the Argos, not to be fooled. Get all the flow going to the right. Bring Pimpleton back the other way. But Sean Amos, the Argos nominee as most outstanding defensive player, there to make a play on it.
Dustin Crum is out, Drew Brown back in. He's got lots of time all day running around and then going to the right, and he was targeting Addison. And a late flag does come out after that one goes incomplete.
I wonder if this may be illegal participation.
Illegal participation, Ottawa number 0. He went out of bounds on his own and was the first player to touch the football. That penalty's declined. Third down.
So field goal situation again for the Redblacks. All of this coming after the turnover. Lorenzo Malden hitting Chad Kelly, who coughed up the ball, and Bennett Williams recovered it. But the Argo defense doesn't let them get much further than that, and so they'll go for 3 and see if they can restore their 10-point lead. Lewis Ward, 1 for 1. His first taste of playoff action since the 2018 breakup, his rookie year. Put down by Richie Leone and put through by Ward. A 20-yard field goal, and again a 10-point spread as Ottawa leads this one 13-3. Kadeem Carey started his career in Calgary, enjoying a great first year with the Argos. More on him coming up. East Semifinal. Blue for Kadeem Carey, third in the CFL in rushing yards behind Brady Oliveira and William Stanback. With more, let's send it back to Matthew.
Yeah, Rod, and it's the first time in his CFL career that Kadeem Carey has played in all 18 games, and it was a one-year contract with the Toronto Argonauts. The Argos thought they might be taking a risk, but Kadeem Carey knew he had all the power, because if you look on his neck, well, it's a multicolored necklace that his daughter Kiara, Kiki for short, gave her father just before the season. And I asked him the power of that necklace, and he said, it's kept me safe all season long.
Big play, Mackay Polk. Taken off. Gone for the Argo touchdown. And for Argo fans, that's more like it. And more of what we saw a couple of weeks ago between these two teams here. One big play. And the Argos, an extra point away from getting back to within a field goal.
Yeah, and this one's not going to do much to help them in terms of that time of possession battle with that quick strike, but no doubt happy to take it on the scoreboard. Mackay Polk, who has been red hot the final third of the season, is wide open. Down that seam, Chad Kelly, always happy to take a shot at the big play. Comes through with the throw on that one.
Pyrolau with the extra point. And that has been typical of this Argo offense. They showed signs of that, of course, last year as well, that they can strike quickly with big plays, and they certainly do there to get right back in this 70-yard touchdown catch. Chad Kelly to Mackay Polk.
Watch Polk working out of the slot here. Halfback kind of sits as he's looking into the formation. Then gets caught scrambling, trying to get back. Money Hunter, the safety's not able to get all the way over there. As Polk reels it in and takes it to the house.
Mackay Polk, first year out of Mississippi State, second in receiving yards in the CFL among rookies behind Ontario Wilson of Winnipeg, and really gelling since Kelly's return, especially the last 5-6 games of the regular season. And by the way, Dwayne, a cousin of Adarius Pickett.
Yes.
Both growing up in the Bay Area in California. Pickett, they went to the same high school. Pickett about 5 years older than Polk, but play. And a touchdown pass for Chad Kelly.
Mackay Polk has just gotten better and better every week, quite frankly, over the course of his rookie season here in the Canadian Football League. Certainly following in the footsteps of his cousin Adarius Pickett, a star in this league.
3 catches, 101 yards. In the 2 other games against the Redblacks, he had 104 and 105. Goes over 100 again against Ottawa. And you look at since week 14, when he had 7 catches for 105. You look at the most receiving yards since then, and he leads the way ahead of Stephen Dunbar and Kenny Lawler, Rhymes and Hardy as well.
Yeah, healthy margin there, as you see, almost 100 yards more than Stephen Dunbar for Mackay Polk in that stretch. Became the Argos leading receiver, their nominee as most outstanding rookie this season. Ironically, in his NFL journey prior to coming north, actually crossed paths with Khalil Pimpleton and Shamar Bridges, 2 other most outstanding rookie nominees in the East.
He and Bridges were in training camp with the Baltimore Ravens together. Both outstanding rookie receivers, as is Pimpleton, coming in to CFL 24. So Ottawa football, their lead down to 3 now. Second down coming up. Pimpleton broke out in a big way in Edmonton. A 70-yard touchdown in that game against the Elks. And valuable kick returner as well. Well, Devontae Dedmon was hurt. With the influx of talent in the CFL, those 3 names alone, mentioning Bridges, season cut short, but outstanding rookie receiver with Hamilton. Brown throwing, caught, first down, and more for Braylon Addison inside the Argo 45. So after that big play by Toronto, Redblacks knowing the importance of answering back and not just going 2 and out.
Yeah, another nice adjustment to the football. We talked about the one on his touchdown catch by Braylon Addison. Makes that one look easy. The twirling in midair to reel in that ball, thrown a little bit behind him. Another big second down conversion for his team.
The first playoff meeting between Ottawa and Toronto at the CFL since 1990. Got a good one going here at 13-10. Redblacks leading as that one is blown dead.
Illegal procedure. Ottawa number 61. 5-yard penalty.
We'll put him 5 yards further back. Braylon Addison mentioned starting in Hamilton, a great year. Great compliment to Brandon Speedy Banks with the Ticats back in 2019.
Yeah, fantastic year for him. A guy who actually broke into the Canadian Football League with the Toronto Argonauts. Couldn't crack their roster, was released, went on to become a star in Hamilton. Battled injuries a little bit the last couple of years, but playing a big role here.
We'd like to welcome viewers from TSN 5 and watching now canceled F1 qualifying. Rod Smith, Wayne Ford, Matthew Shinetti. Here is the CFL's Eastern Semifinal. The Ottawa Redblacks with a much better start against the Argos in this game. We just saw a reception for Braylon Addison on the screen. He's had a couple of big plays to get them down inside the Argo 30. And a 1st and 10. Ottawa's offense much different in the first half than it was against the Argos the last time they met 2 weeks ago here at BMO Field. Drew Brown, the Ottawa quarterback in his first year as a CFL starter, taking the handoff, rolling to the right, completing it to Khalil Pimpleton, who's trying to break more inside the 25 after a pickup of about 3 yards. Second down coming up, Royce Metier in on the tackle.
Yeah, Ottawa again off play action, trying to get the ball to Pimpleton in space. Delacaye and Metier rallying to the football to make the play.
The Argos leader in tackles. Out of the University of Guelph, started his career in Calgary, Royce Metier. a 2nd and 6 at the Argo 23. After giving up that quick touchdown to Toronto, the Redblacks coming right back at a 4-man rush, throwing to the right. It is caught inside the 20, and that is the fullback, Anthony Gosselin, right near the first down marker for Ottawa. It is indeed a first down.
Gosselin loosening up from the formation there. Just a quick out. See the linebacker, D'Arcangelo, sitting inside, leaving Gosselin a little bit of space to operate.
A rare catch for Gosselin, but a big one there and a first down. Handing off to Addison, and he is tackled by Isaac D'Arcangelo, the weak side linebacker, after a pickup of a couple of yards. And a running play for the running back, Braylon Addison.
You see Isaac D'Arcangelo tracking that one down. A guy who's been a nice find for Toronto this season, with injuries to Jonathan Jones and Fraser Sopik, both of whom are veterans who had seen time at that weak side linebacker spot. Both currently on the injured list. D'Arcangelo has been productive in their absence.
Down to the Toronto 15. Redblacks. Brown caught. Pimpleton and Metier in on the tackle again as he gets it down to the 10. It'll be shy of a first down by a couple of yards. And a third down coming up here for Ottawa.
Yeah, big series there for Royce Metier. You're going to see Metier in the middle of the field. He's going to pick up Pimpleton, who's coming from the far side of the field on that under route. Nice adjustment by him to wrap up a slippery player in space, Tommy Condell. Wishing they just had another foot or two to try and get Pimpleton free.
Instead, they settle for a field goal again as Lewis Ward goes 3 for 3. So they do answer after that quick Argo touchdown, going down for a field goal. Ottawa hanging on to that lead. East Division semifinal at BMO Field in Toronto.
First round receivers in this ball game. Nick Mardner for Ottawa, the number 2 overall pick, has already been active in this one. Kevin Mittal out of Laval.
Look at the difference, Dwayne, in time of possession compared to their game. It was completely reversed a couple weeks ago. Ottawa dominating in that stat and leading this game. But back come the Argos. Caught. Touchdown. Tavares Daniels. That offense doesn't need to possess.
Yeah, I was going to say the Argos don't care about those time of possession stats. Just look at the scoreboard. Big play team, showing they can get it done in different ways. It was a dominant run game, kept Ottawa's defense on the field for extended periods 2 weeks ago, and now it's the quick strikes attacking that seam again. This time Tavares Daniels with the major.
Tying the game and the point after by Hiralahu give the Argos their first lead of this 2024 East semi-final. A couple of big passes by Chad Kelly going for touchdowns. First Mackay Polk and now Tavares Daniels.
Yeah, Daniels is going to emerge as the number 2 receiver towards the top of your screen. Inside man. He and David Unger both start off on vertical releases. In the corner, Brandon Dandridge got held close to the line of scrimmage with the route by Unger. Damon Webb kind of sat down in the flat as Daniels went deep. Kelly finds him for the Argos' second big play touchdown.
That says it all for Ottawa Redblacks and Coach Tommy Condell, with his offense getting set to take over Tavares Daniels, in his 8th year at Notre Dame, started with Calgary Rookie of the Year in 2016. Later went to Edmonton. This is his 4th year in Toronto, and over 1,000 yards receiving last year, limited to 622 in the regular season this year. But another big playoff touchdown. Daniels, shorter kick down at the 30. Gosselin has it, and he is tackled by Jack Cassar, who is the special teams tackles leader, along with A.J. Allen of Saskatchewan this year.
And the Argos on special teams on their kickoffs, they've gone for that sort of moonshot kick, a high, shorter kickoff every time. They don't want to give Dedmon or Pimpleton a chance to handle the ball. So put it up high so your coverage team has a chance to get back there, not quite as deep. And you're much happier with Anthony Gosselin, some of the guys who are usually blocking, being the ones handling it instead of the threat of kicking it deep to the dangerous Dedmon and Pimpleton.
And Ottawa only gets it back to the 34, so all things considered, that strategy pays off on that kick by Hyra-Lowry. The 34, the Redblacks, trailing for the first time in this game. 17-16 Toronto, late first half. It's Brown. Their short pass to Addison. Turns it up, gets up around the 40, and he's being wrestling down by Wynton McManus as the 3-minute warning is issued. And a 2nd and short coming up here for the Ottawa Redblacks. Brilliant catch by Addison. And later the Argos had a couple as well. It's just a 1-point game. Redblacks certainly different than 2 weeks ago against the Argos, but it's still a Toronto lead.
This is where legends are made. The stakes are high. The moments unforgettable.
Pass is intercepted.
The hits are harder. The crowd is louder. But one thing feels weightless. The passion, the pride, the pursuit of greatness.
An Ottawa first down.
Yeah, tight coverage on the play. Pimpleton did a nice job to get his hands on that football. Good strong catch with Franklin trying to pull the arms apart and pop that ball free.
Get it up to the Ottawa 48, and a big possession here late in the half for the Redblacks. The offense is trying to keep it off the field and keep it out of the hands of Chad Kelly, who's had the hot hand right now. Brown scrambling around, gets rid of it, and coming back to the ball is Pimpleton, shy of a first down, but it will set up a 2nd and short for Ottawa across midfield.
Yeah, solid first down pickup there for Ottawa. Drew Brown getting on the move, using his legs to extend the play. Nice job by Pimpleton making himself available to his quarterback on the scramble.
Another completion for Brown. He is 21 of 26 for 205 yards and a touchdown to Braylon Addison. Productive first half for Brown and the Ottawa offense. Just inside the Argos zone of the Toronto 54. 2nd down, handing off. That's Addison, and he had to get up just a couple of yards. It looks like he has enough for another Ottawa first down. Indeed he does as the sticks move.
Take a look at the blocking up front. The fullback Gosselin is a tight end on the left side. Addison spots his hole, knows the situation in terms of down and distance. Recognizes just plunging forward. Get him a fresh set of downs.
The Montreal Alouettes are awaiting a winner in this game in the Eastern Final next week. Late in the half, it is caught and ripped out with him still up. And do the Redblacks get the ball anyway? Argos thinking they have it. Darius Bladick, one of the Redblacks, rushing in after Pimpleton coughed it up. In the hands of Jacob Ruby, the left tackle, alertly coming in, and what could have been a disaster for Ottawa.
That tackler closed quickly there on Pimpleton. Looked like it was the weak side linebacker.
The ball carrier was down with contact prior to fumbling the football. Ottawa will remain in possession.
It looked like his right knee was heading towards the turf, whether it actually touched or not. We'll try and get another look here. In the meantime, the Red Blacks are going to try and get the ball snapped. Absolutely. Right knee touches down. Great call by the officials.
Excellent call. They got it, and it's still Ottawa ball, and it's right at the 45. And that is caught. And it's a first down for the Red Blacks.
And there you see top two guys, all-purpose yards per game. Not necessarily a lot of games this season where both were in the lineup. Referring to Ottawa's Khalil Pimpleton and Devontae Dedmon. But two multi-purpose weapons out there for Ottawa.
Another catch for Pimpleton. It's a first down at the Argo 36. It's caught inside the 20. It's Dominic Rhymes with the catch and another first down. Late in the half, under a minute to go, and the Red Blacks are knocking on the door again.
This is a bold throw by Drew Brown. You're going to see tight window here as he's looking for Dominic Rhymes. A couple of defenders doing the flybys here as Brown threads the needle to his second leading receiver, Dominic Rhymes.
The Red Blacks had led most of the way until the Argos' last possession when they went ahead by a point. Ottawa looking to retake the lead, heading to the dressing room for halftime. Brown dumps it off to Jalen Acklin. His first catch of the afternoon as he gets it inside the 10. Still shy of a first down. 27 seconds to go on the clock, and a second and short is coming up here for Ottawa.
And these two teams going back and forth. Impressive response drive here from Ottawa to march it down the field. Good communication there from Acklin, letting Brown know when he was in a little bit of trouble. Facing the heat, Acklin was there as an outlet.
Eighth different Ottawa receiver to have a catch in this game. 14 seconds and counting till halftime and a second and 3. Pressure. End zone! Touchdown! Jalen Acklin again! Ottawa has the lead again.
Terrific clock management, excellent execution. Acklin on the left side of the screen, fakes out, bends in behind the goalpost. Nice timing there as Drew Brown has been money in the first half for the Ottawa Redblacks.
Jalen Acklin, 5th year out of Western Illinois. Mentioned started with Hamilton. Appeared in a couple of Grey Cups with the Ticats before signing on with Ottawa as a free agent. And as a playoff touchdown catch for the Red Blacks, and Drew Brown, 26 of 31 for 256 now. 2 touchdown passes. And we hadn't had any reason to say Acklin's name until a couple of plays ago when he caught one for 7 yards to get him closer, and then that touchdown.
Yeah, Jalen Acklin looking to create a little drama. He's on the left side of the screen. You'll see him appear in behind the goalpost. Going deep. Kind of a double move. Initially shows quick out, and then takes it vertical. Acklin letting the Argo fans know what he thinks of them.
Well, we've talked to him at various points where the Red Blacks have been playing Toronto, and he does not disguise his hate for the Argos. And that goes back to his days with the Hamilton Tiger Cats down the QEW.
Yeah, I was going to say, coming into the league as a Hamilton Tiger Cat, he learned very quickly as a CFLer how he felt about the Argos and their fans. Has taken that sentiment with him to the nation's capital.
6 seconds to go. They do a short kick, and the Argos are on it. So an onside kick, it gets to about the Ottawa 47. 3 seconds left.
Yeah, I like the concept. I don't like the timing of it.
Well, I mean, it'd be a long field goal try for Hiralau, but there is time to try it.
Well, and here's the thing, is say there had been a penalty against Toronto on the kickoff where Ottawa is kicking from closer to Toronto territory, where if Ottawa can recover it, they're the ones in field goal range. But in this situation, even if Ottawa gets it, they don't really have time to run a play and then kick. So I don't see the value in the play at that time. It only benefited the Argos.
So special teams miscue really if Hiralau can make this field goal. It's a 53-yard try. And it's good. So the Redblacks really gift the Argos 3 points heading into the dressing room. And Ottawa still leads. But it's down to 3 points.
Very peculiar decision by Ottawa in that situation. You know, it didn't look like Leone was trying to drive it deep. It looked like he was trying to kick it at one of the guys in the front row. You do it sometimes when you anticipate that the guys in the front row are bailing to get back to their blocks, that they're not watching the ball kick, that you may be able to bounce it off someone's back. But the timing of this, given, again, that they're kicking off from the regular spot, it's not a penalty against Toronto. This hurts.
But Ottawa does have a good first half. That last couple of plays notwithstanding, and especially Braylon Addison, very productive on the depth chart as a running back, but here as a receiver, and a beautiful catch with Royce Metier all over him for that Ottawa touchdown. He is standing by now with Matthew.
Well, Braylon, I know that you were off the field last year, recovering, getting back. Did you know you're going to be carrying the load today in that first half, 87 combined yards?
No, just trying to stay ready, stay dialed in for my team. We got to keep punching as a unit.
This feels like a prize fight. Does this team have what it takes in the second half?
Yeah, we knew all week it was going to be a playoff game. It's a great team. They've been good all year. You know, we've been fighting back and forth for second place. And so we came in knowing it was going to be a dog fight. We just got to keep punching.
Thank you, Braylon.
Thank you.
As I said, Kate, Braylon Addison said it too. It's a prize fight. It's a playoff game.
Matthew Shinetti in postseason form with a nice little walk and talk there as well. Kate Burness back alongside David Sanchez, Matt Dunnigan, Milt Steele. We've got ourselves a fantastic football game to kick off the day, just like we expected.
Yes.
And Milt, we were talking about that. I was saying this too because I'm still confused about the squib kick.
Yeah,
I still don't understand what the decision.
It was a bad squib.
I was going to say it was a bad kick, but just the decision.
Execution.
Just really didn't make any sense.
Who said thank you very much.
Yeah, he was like, that says A-OK in my books. Milt, when we were talking about this game before, you know, we constantly talk about the receivers on Ottawa. We talk about Drew Brown. We talk about this defense. What we never talk about is the run game and the running back situation, but they've done a really nice job establishing their ground game.
Yeah, and it's been untraditional. It's not like they're going to turn around and hand the ball off because they don't have a traditional back in the game right now. You have basically two scat backs in Addison and Devin, but it's been working. That right there is like pitching it out to your running back. So they're allowing these guys to get the ball in their hand and make plays with their feet. You got to give a lot of credit to their quarterback, Drew Brown. He's having a great game. Offensive coordinator Tommy Condell has been very creative. He's allowing these guys to make some plays. And this catch right here by Addison, this is awesome. That man is special. And Travis Moore, his receiver coach, told me that he can do it all. Yes, he's a receiver, but putting him at running back and we don't miss a beat. So that's been great for this team because, as I mentioned, we talked in the pregame, Toronto, they're not going to give up a bunch of rushing yards. They're second only to Saskatchewan when it comes to the run. So you got to be creative, and so far these Ottawa Redblacks have done a great job in this first half. Milt, smoke and mirrors with that run game. They've got 18 yards rushing in the first half, but it's just what it's done to the Toronto defense and going empty a lot. And that first drive alone, they were 60-40 empty package, and it's been a lot more of that as the game continued. You talk about punching, you talk about boxing, you talk about throwing haymakers. That's what Toronto's doing. And watch this right here. Sometimes as a receiver, Hardy's got 4 catches, 41 yards. Look at him come across field here. You got to pick that up. You got to allow your quarterback to make that throw. Addison coming up, brilliant catch. This is a better angle. Just beautiful. Just doing anything it takes. A veteran, Justin Hardy, just coming across, doing his job above and beyond. So
What Tommy Condell, you mentioned that, Milt, and just to expound on that, I can just say that doing a phenomenal job of catching Toronto kind of off guard with an empty formation much of the series. I would trash the Dustin Crum package, when he comes in there, because that's an easy tell defensively when you have one back and him coming in the game. But right now, Tommy Condell, bunch of jabs, controlling the line of scrimmage with high percentage throws, and then Chad Kelly doing his thing with the bombs and haymakers.
Yeah. You mentioned it, the two backs. You mentioned Tommy Condell. I talked before the game about Tommy needing to scheme some stuff up, because I don't think they're as good offensively as the Argos are defensively, especially the front. He's done that. He's kept them off balance. You saw early the philosophy for this Argos defense, and it was the same as it was when it was Corey Mace as DC. Now with Fields and Iben, same thing. They want to take away the deep, that umbrella coverage, and make you check it down and work the ball down the field methodically. And here you saw 7 lined up back there. Obviously 2 of them dropped down, but still 5 guys deep in the coverage. Again, same thing. You got 7 of them, 2 dropped down. There's still 5 guys deep, which means the underneath's open, and they've continuously picked that apart. Now, you saw right after this, finally, they had enough, and they said it's a second down, a key play. Toronto has to bring pressure. They bring some pressure, 5-man pressure here, and tackle and get off the field. You actually saw Tommy Condell actually shaking his head, because they actually had a man. There he is. They had a man beater drawn up there, so they must have expected that Toronto was finally going to blitz on that next second down, and they did. Tommy had a rub route crosser called, just a good tackle, but they're going to have to send some pressure in the second half.
Ottawa right now, I guarantee you, is looking at this like, guys, we gave them 17 points. We allowed 2 guys just to run down the field wide open, and then that play at the end of the half. They're looking at, we could be up a lot more than what we are right now.
Yeah, Milt, I think they are, but I got to credit Chad Kelly for standing in there after that shot from Lozo. I mean, knocked the wind out of him, then he bounces back with 2 big-time throws to keep his team in the ball game. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy.
And they needed that, too, because you saw there was a little bit of dissension on the thing. Toss back.
Chad looked back at his O-line. He was like, what are you doing?
Lucky they had a big play and something good happened.
2 big plays.
Something after that, negative again, who knows what would have happened.
That's the best part of the CFL. 2 big plays can change absolutely everything as we take a look at the time of possession as well. We've got ourselves a great game, but we know this is just the appetizer for today. The West semifinal coming up. Lapo standing by.
Kelly recovering after taking that big hit. The forced fumble by Lorenzo Malden. Rebounded well. Come back with a couple of the home run balls you talked about. First to Mackay Polk, then Tavares Daniels. Making the most of limited opportunity.
And down only 3 to start the second half of the play action fake. Kelly has time, decides to take off and run now as he gets across midfield. And Frankie Griffin coming in. Argo fans, yes, a flag is down now for what looks like will be called a late hit on Griffin on Kelly.
And this is one I understand as a defensive player. They have to call it, but I understand why he's trying to make the hit. At a certain point, you've got to commit one way or another. Chad Kelly's a guy who can hurt you with his legs, but he was on his way down.
Major foul. Roughing the passer, roughing the quarterback. Ottawa number 28. 15-yard penalty enforced from the end of the play. And a first down.
So that ends up being another big play against the Redblacks defense. The run was enough for a first by Kelly, and then tack on 15 for that penalty against Griffin.
And now the key for Ottawa, as we've seen with them in the past, particularly the game in Montreal late in the season, don't compound that mistake.
And Andre Proulx talking to Chad Kelly, who is being pulled from this game in the concussion spotter. He takes a knee. He looked like protesting the decision to remove him from this game. Frankie Griffin on that penalty had gone in. See Nick Arbuckle now, the backup quarterback today, and did get the shoulder in around the head of Kelly as he was going down.
Yeah, and I didn't see Kelly as he got up to see if he was unsteady, but definitely shot up high. You see him lay down for a second there. So the spotters doing their job to try to protect the player. Frustrating as it is for Chad Kelly in this moment.
So Nick Arbuckle is in for how long we don't know. Last week in the victory or loss in Edmonton, he played a lot in that game, relieving Cameron Dukes. Kelly didn't start. That's the run there by Kadeem Carey. And Arbuckle's numbers. In that loss in a close game in Edmonton last week, he was 22 of 32 for 378. 2 touchdown passes, 1 intercepted.
Yeah, Cameron Dukes started that ball game. He got banged up. Arbuckle came in, went the rest of the way. Did have 1 start for the Argos this season, a win. 100 pass attempts for him on the year.
That was back in week 10 here against the Calgary Stampeders that he got the start. The last 2 touchdown possessions, a good place to start at their own 40, and yeah, they needed only 3 plays combined. That 1 big one to Mackay Polk, and then the 2-play drive ending with the touchdown to Tavares Daniels.
How's that for efficiency? 140 yards of offense, 2 touchdowns in 50 seconds.
Said, who needs to worry about time of possession if you can keep doing that?
Yeah, your defense may not love it. We'll see as this game goes on.
It's Nick Arbuckle in, handing off again. Kadeem Carey, his biggest run of the afternoon. The Argos only ran the ball 3 times in the first half. That's one of the top running teams in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, nice job. Couple receivers blocking there. David Unger, maybe the smallest guy on the field right now, had a great kick-out block right at the point of attack here to spring Kadeem Carey.
And Chad Kelly has emerged from the tent, being examined, taken off the field for concussion protocol, and obviously looking helmet on to get back in this game. Still Argo football on a 1st and 10, back to the ground again. Kadeem Carey asserting himself now in the second half, the 3rd leading rusher in the Canadian Football League as Kelly does come back on, and Nick Arbuckle heads on.
Well, there you see the versatility and depth of talent in the Toronto Argonaut offense. First half for them was all about the big play, the long ball. Kelly goes out of the lineup, seamlessly shift gears to handing the ball off to Kadeem Carey, who just churns up a pile of yards until their starting quarterback is able to re-enter the ballgame.
1st and goal, Kelly back in, throwing, touchdown. Another touchdown for Tavares Daniels. And Kelly got back in time to finish off this drive as the Argos have taken the lead again.
And we've talked about this before. A team that's receiving the football to start the second half, the points that Ottawa gifted them at the end of the first half, that this is now sort of 10 points consecutive possessions for the Argos. End of the first half, start of the second half. They make the most of it and reverse the scoreboard, basically. Go from Ottawa being up by 6 to being down 4.
The extra point. Tavares Daniels had 2 touchdowns in the regular season. In this Eastern semifinal, he has 2 touchdowns, including that one. 27-23, Argos ahead.
Step into the action with CFL Game Zone. Play games, win prizes, and connect with fans from across the world. Join the ultimate CFL fan experience today at gamezone.cfl.ca.
Of Drew Brown and the Ottawa offense in this football game, doing their best to keep pace with the high-powered Argonauts. Biggest thing at this point is that the D needs to get some stops. They can't give up those big plays.
Thrown 2 touchdown passes, one to Braylon Addison, one to Jalen Ackland. They go on the ground that time. It's Addison. Mentioned it was last week that decided to put him in on the depth as a starting running back and got one for a touchdown as a receiver, but talked about the different offensive approach. Not much of that conventional running game for the Redblacks.
stranger to being creative. During his time in Hamilton, they weren't always the team that relied on having a high-volume feature running back.
2nd and 6, swinging it out. Oh, and met immediately is Addison by Benji Franklin coming in for a big tackle to force another 3rd down.
Benji Franklin among the league leaders in defensive stops. Talk about plays resulting in no gain for the offense. Damon Webb and Benji Franklin atop.
So the Ottawa drive stalls. Just inside the Argos zone, Richie Leone to kick it away from inside his 50. The lone returner, Janarian Grant inside the 10. Takes a pop, and he goes down just shy of the 15. So Argo football. An Argo lead, opening it up to 11 the last time they had the ball. Big defensive play there by Franklin. 34-23 in this East semifinal.
There is something remarkable happening here, and anyone who hasn't got the message that the CFL is alive and thriving is just not paying attention. This has been a truly amazing time for us.
He's going to get to midfield. There's a block. Hogan with the house call. Down the field. Keyshawn Johnson. Fajardo throwing towards the corner. One hand, and they got it. An unreal play by Speaker. Randy Oliveira. Flea flicker, Ford.
Hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. The one that's watching the CFL playoffs with us here on TSI. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and listening to the game. Now, please help us continue to grow this awesome Toronto sports community by hitting that subscribe button and turning on the bell so you don't miss it when we go live for every single CFL playoff game. Every single Argos game this season, every single Leafs game, every single Raptors game, we do Toronto sports right here on TSI. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate you helping us continue to grow. We'll see you back in the chat. Good luck to your team. But let's go Argos. Let's be serious. Argos!
To help out, first there was a touchdown to Mackay Polk, then Tavares Daniels. Both those back-to-back in the first half, then a big play to Polk that set up the Chan Kelly touchdown run, extending the Toronto Argonaut lead to 11.
Kelly has thrown for 259 yards, 158 of that to one receiver, Mackay Polk. There's the one touchdown. Daniels has a couple. Kelly's 9 for 11 and 3 touchdown passes. Only 11 passes by the Argos in this game, but they're making them count. And much more uncommon running play there. It's Bryce Carter, late arrival back into the lineup for the Redblacks, and a key player, defensive end, with the tackle there, and Kadeem Carey.
Now you look at this Ottawa defensive line. As you mentioned, they got Bryce Carter back for the regular season finale after a stint on the 6-game injured list for him. Mike Wakefield tied for the team lead in sacks this year. It was Bryce Carter that led the way last year. Lorenzo Malden led the league the year before.
Illegal procedure. Toronto number 64. 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
Push him 5 yards back in that procedure call, and a 2nd and 14. The Argos hemmed in deep in their zone. Still a 2-possession game, 11-point difference now. And once again, the whistle blowing before the snap of the ball.
Timer, please reset the game clock to 3 minutes 56 seconds.
They're 5 minutes and they're taking the box. It's all man.
So they reset the clock. In that last meeting here at BMO 2 weeks ago, the Argos had a 32-point lead after 3 before the Redblacks came storming back. There there's another sack on Kelly to push them even deeper. Michael Wakefield, one of the sacks leaders in the Canadian Football League. He had 8. It was a 5-way tie in that department. Has a big playoff sack to force the Argos to punt it away from their end zone.
And a massive play here from Wakefield. Looks like they had a twist on between he and Carter as he kind of looped wide there. Never actually went around Carter, but took a wide path there on the guard, Anthony Van Daal.
Michael Wakefield, who was on the Redblacks roster for their last postseason game, that was the Grey Cup in 2018, remembers that day well on the icy field at Commonwealth Stadium when they lost to the Calgary Stampeders. And so John Haggerty punts it deep into his own zone, getting it near midfield. Devontae Dedmon fakes a little move and cuts it up. And Dedmon gets it inside the Argo 50. A good place to start for Drew Brown.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
We're going to get the sacks leaders and a very low leading total this year in the Canadian Football League, but good representation for the two teams playing right now.
Yeah, certainly 5 guys tied for the lead, 4 of them playing here today, making their presence felt. Michael Wakefield, Ottawa's nominee as most outstanding defensive player this year, following in the footsteps of his defensive line mates, Bryce Carter and Lorenzo Molden. The veteran Cleon Lang rounding out that starting front 4.
1st and 10. Ottawa trailing by 11 in the Argo zone. And no, intended for Rhymes with Wynton McManus right in behind him. Falls incomplete. 2nd down.
Yeah, Derek Parrish with University of Houston from that left defensive end spot supplies the heat. Fighting his way past Zach Pelios there.
Parrish and Ralph Hawley, 2 key additions up front defensively for the Argos when you consider last year they had not only Sean Oakman, but Brandon Barlow and Wayne Hendricks all gone. Oakman leaving earlier this season. 2nd and 10. And it's caught right down at the 35. Coming back is Hardy. And a 1st down for the Redblacks.
Well, need a big play. Go to the reliable Justin Hardy. Good coverage there from Mark Milton, but as Brown starts to scramble, Hardy makes the play work by coming back to the football.
Marks it just inside the 35 of the Argos. Brown, no, closest to it was Franklin, took a dive at it, and a throw off to the right, but it falls incomplete. Yeah, Justin Hardy, more of an understated star with the Redblacks, just the way he goes about his business, but 2nd behind Justin McInnes in receiving yards this year, and all those catches too.
Yeah, impressive season, and just what a great addition he has been to this Ottawa team, coming in a couple of years ago as NFL veteran, a guy who was ready to contribute right away on a team that needed some receiving help.
2nd and 10. Brown, deep. No, falls incomplete at one point. Looked like both an Argo and a Redblack had a shot at that ball. Deshaun Amos in.
Two Ottawa receivers basically end up on top of each other this route. Both Pimpleton and Hardy right there. Looked like Hardy might have been looking for a call from based on the contact. There, Amos goes up. To me, he's just trying to make a play on the football.
Pimpleton might have had a shot at a touchdown there. So Lewis Ward, 3 for 3, and 3 big points. They're going for here to get this Argo lead trimmed down a bit. Ward, one of the best in the business. A minute to go till 3/4 time. First points of the half for the Redblacks. The 3 from Lewis Ward. So it's 34-26, an 8-point difference. The Argos on top. Under a minute to go until 3/4 time in this Eastern semifinal with the winner going to Montreal next week. Kelly, shorter pass, and that's Herslow with it. Jake Herslow up to midfield and a first down for the Argos.
Love the job Herslow does here, making the first man miss as he makes this catch. Quick spin to the outside. Knife up the field.
Herslow from Virginia Beach and played his college ball with the Houston Cougars. Just had that touchdown last week from Nick Arbuckle in Edmonton. The final regular season game, filling in for DeMonte Coxey. There's Deontay McMahon to the right. Stays in bounds. Looks like he has another first down on the ground for the Argos. And a flag comes out.
Prior to yards being gained, holding Toronto number 80, 10-yard penalty. We're going to replay first down.
Perimeter run there. You see DeVaris Daniels in the middle of the screen, keeping Damon Webb from being able to bounce outside on that one.
Negating that.
He may not like it, but it was a hold.
So 1st and 20. This is the last play of the third quarter. And a good quarter it's been overall for the Argos, with an 8-point lead from their 45. And that long first down, it is caught. Well, Daniels didn't like the penalty, but he probably feels a whole lot better about that big catch. It looks to be enough for an Argo first down. Kelly to Daniels, what a combination that's been. Not a touchdown this time, but the big play. One of many for the double blue. They'll take a lead. Trying to get to Montreal in a rematch with the Alouettes.
As much of a burner as he is, took him a while to hit those big plays.
2nd and 4. Argo 16. Caught! Touchdown! Was he taken down just shy? They signal it is a touchdown for Ottawa. Justin Hardy. Ball came out after he broke the plane, and the Redblacks, their first TD in the second half to get them a bit closer. And they will review, though. Was he down before breaking the plane?
Ruled a scoring play initially, so they'll automatically take a look at it. Knee is down before the ball is out, so that's not in question. I do think he was down before the ball broke the plane of the goal line.
Very, very close.
Knee is down there. You can see great shot.
That's the best view of it. Great to see that it's not a touchdown.
The previous play is under review.
And on that angle, you can clearly see it is going to be a 1st and goal for the Redblacks at the 1. Hardy has him close. This is the official command center result.
After review, the ball carrier was down with contact at the 1-yard line. First down, Ottawa at the 1.
1st and goal, and a touchdown is a must. Under 10 minutes to go in the 4th. 15-point difference. Dustin Crum is in at quarterback. Short yardage. Crum keeping, and no, does not get there. Jake Serezna. Jeff Kassar.
Well, you see not much movement here. Toronto up front as Kassar crashes down off the edge. Make the tackle on the Ottawa quarterback.
As Crum stays is in. On the second and goal. Right side. Still no signal of a touchdown. The Argos defense stood him up again. Third down coming up. How big is this after it looked like Hardy might have had the score?
The Toronto Argonaut defense holding firm. No push there for Ottawa. Do they go back to the well one more time with the sneak or try something a little more creative here on third down?
Well, in a game of big plays, and there have been many of them, could this one be the biggest? Third and goal, Ottawa. 15 points down. Crum! Still no signal. Argos say no. They're still sorting it out.
It's
turnover on downs. No touchdown. What a stand for the Argo defense. Protecting their lead. Look, like the Redblacks had a touchdown earlier, so close. 3 cracks at it by Crum. Can't break the plane. They rule no touchdown. Argo football.
Step into the action with CFL Game Zone. Play games, win prizes, and connect with fans from across the world. Join the ultimate CFL fan experience today at gamezone.cfl.ca.
6-1-7.
And you see what he's done in his career. I mentioned a great start in part of a season with the Stampeders in 2016, and he ends up being the Rookie of the Year. And among active receivers in the CFL, leads the way at over 6,000. 4 catches, 88 yards, a couple of touchdowns, 1 big catch there to give up Toronto a first down as they're trying to grind this thing down now, leading by 9. The injured Redblacks player is the safety Money Hunter.
And as you saw, Davaris Daniels on the sidelines. Obviously, first priority is helping his Argos take care of business, and then no doubt hustling home to watch Dad's Saskatchewan Roughriders in the second half of this playoff double bill.
His father, Philip, who played in the NFL, is the defensive line coach of the Riders. Yeah, part 2 coming up. Western Semi, Saskatchewan and BC. And there is Dejan Brissett. Got his hands on the other pass, but gets that one down to the 20 on that catch. Justin Howell in at safety now with the injury to Money Hunter.
Yeah, Howell in his first game back after a stint on the injured list. Veteran, one of the special teams leaders for Ottawa. Alonzo Adai had been their starting safety for most of the season. He got injured. They shuffled the ratio a little bit to play the American Money Hunter at that spot.
Ottawa 19. Kelly, they get him. He is sacked. Back near the Ottawa 30, Michael Wakefield coming in again. Had a sack earlier in this game.
Timeout, Ottawa.
Leon Lang and Wakefield both getting some push there. Wakefield, the one who gets to the Argo quarterback. Snuff out this drive.
So 3rd down and 12. Hiralau is on again. His biggest kick was right in the final play of the first half. He hit it from 53.
His longest of the season.
Got his longest, and how timely was that after that kickoff by Leone? Went short. Hit a member of the Argos and gave him a chance to put 3 more on the board before halftime. There's 3 more on the board for the Argos, increasing their lead to 12 at 44-32 with just over 5 minutes to go. NBA on TSN to feature Vince Carter and his retired number being retired. The great Toronto Raptor. That's coming up Sacramento in the Raptors. Tangerine Raptors basketball just down the road here in Toronto at Scotiabank Arena. And Vince Carter back in town. What the influence that he had in the NBA in Toronto.
The influence he had on basketball, not just in Toronto, but across this country. Nice to see Vince honored by the Raptors.
Four receivers to the right. Brown looks that way, and that is caught by Martner, shy of the 45. The Redblacks can pretty safely say now need a touchdown. 4.5 minutes to go, down by 12.
And we talked about their need for big plays. As you watch that clock tick down, that need becomes even more pressing here. They got to get a shot down the field. Chunk play.
Second and 6. It's caught. First down at the Argo 50. The Redblacks will try to work quickly now. Now they know on this field they can score quickly. They did 2 weeks ago. But the circumstances were a bit different.
Yeah. The Argos probably sitting back more in that one than they will be in this situation.
I don't think the Argos won't remember what happened a couple of weeks ago when they saw a huge lead fritter away. Those are a couple of onside kicks done successfully that helped Ottawa out. Screening to Acklin. Good yardage after that catch as well as he gets it close to the Argo 35.
Nice execution there, Acklin. Shows us the bomber guy coming in to help in protection. You see him in the back of the formation. He shows like he's going to come across and block. Lets the rusher go as Drew Brown drops it over top. Peleos Bladek leading the way.
At the 37. Redblacks need a touchdown, onside kick, and a touchdown. And that is knocked away. Going up, the rookie Tyshawn Blackburn. And the 3-minute warning is given. 2:52 on the clock. Chad Kelly and the Toronto Argonauts. They want to face the Alouettes again in the Eastern Final and write a different story. They're getting closer. Still in charge here, leading by 12 with just a couple of minutes to go.
This is where legends are made. The stakes are high. The moment's unforgettable.
And pass is intercepted.
The hits are harder. The crowd is louder. But one thing feels weightless. The passion, the pride, the pursuit of greatness.
And his first interception thrown in the intensity of Ryan Dinwiddie. 4th year as head coach of the Argos. 4th home playoff game. And looking for his 2nd win out of those 4. The heartbreak last year against the Alouettes. Lost the Eastern Final in 21 to Hamilton before beating Montreal in 2022, advancing to and then winning the Grey Cup over Winnipeg 2 years ago. But Devontae Dedmon, the injured Redblacks player, getting attention on the field. But 2:17 on the clock. And sure they can say, a lot of them do, Dwayne, of the Argos that remember the pain of last year here on this field in the Eastern Final against the Alouettes, that they try to put it aside, it doesn't matter now, but I can't help but think as they get ready to go to Montreal, assuming they hang on to this, that some of them will be thinking about what happened in the Eastern Final last year and would love to flip the script in the Alouettes.
Yeah, certainly a feeling. I don't think it's so much about vengeance as just an opportunity that got away from them last year and having a second chance to play in an East Final, regardless of whether it's home or on the road. We see Brown forced to step up with Robbie Smith coming around the corner.
And Tavares McFadden, after that toss by McManus, finds an opening, takes it in. Dinwiddie and the Argos starting to celebrate with a 19-point lead in these final minutes. Devontae Dedmon getting help now, walking off the field and limping. The 3 previous years, the Argos hosted the Eastern Final. Trying to get back to that CFL Final 4 game, this time on the road in Montreal. That one is caught. Out around midfield is Braylon Addison.
Well, Ottawa's going to keep swinging until the end here. Trying to force something to happen, but we all know about that Toronto defensive line, their ability to get after it, and they'll just be pinning their ears back. Trying to get to Drew Brown right now.
There's 2:10 on the clock. And coming up, the Western Semifinal. Vernon Adams and the BC Lions up against Trevor Harris and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Trevor Harris, the quarterback in Ottawa, the last time they had a postseason game, that was 6 years ago. And it's been some lean years for the Red Blacks in between. A couple of 4-win and 3-win seasons before breaking out this year, winning 9-8-1 they finished with, and back to the playoffs. But in a bind right now. Oh, intercepted! Benji Franklin! Could it be happening again? It is! Back-to-back defensive touchdowns. And the Argos are really running away with it now.
The risk of these kinds of plays from an Ottawa perspective obviously increases when you get in this situation. You're pressing, you got to make something happen offensively. You hate to see one like that off the receiver. But the Argos, give them credit for making plays happen. Tight window. Franklin steps in front of it. Then the CFL leader this season in pass breakups, Benji Franklin. Kind of a slow start to the season. Spent a little bit of time at the field corner spot. Really seemed to find his home on the boundary side.
A day of big plays for the home side. At first on offense for the Argos. And in this fourth quarter, their defense kicking in a couple of touchdowns. 58-32, under 2 minutes to go. And Toronto can make plans for another Eastern Final meeting against the Montreal Alouettes.
Yeah, Franklin, nice jump on the ball. I don't know if the receiver got a piece of it at all as Franklin stepped in front. Disappointment for Drew Brown and the Red Blacks.
And for the Argos, who had 3 regular season meetings against Montreal. And they did win 2 of them, including one at Molson Stadium. 58 points scored, 3rd most in the history of the CFL playoffs. At 68 points in a playoff game against Winnipeg back in 1996. That's the record. The Argos have racked up a lot here. And yes, against the Alouettes in the regular season, Montreal won here in week 4. 2 weeks later, the Argos beat the Alouettes at McGill, and that was Montreal's first loss of the season. That was a game Cody Fajardo got hurt early. And then they met again last month, Dwayne, here at BMO, and the Alouettes had just found out they had clinched first before the game. They knew they already had first place wrapped up. And that was a close one. The Argos did manage to win that, ran the ball very well against Montreal. That was the Alouettes' first road loss in over a year.
I think in the world of storytelling, probably a matchup a reasonable number of people wanted to see.
Well, it writes itself in
the return match.
Yeah, absolutely. After the Argos at 16-2 were favored against Montreal in the Eastern Final here a year ago. That's Khalil Pimpleton. Keeps working, keeps fighting down about the 45. But that game, that Eastern Final a year ago here, Chad Kelly's first playoff start, I should say. He got intercepted. They had an impressive opening drive. He was picked off by Marc-Antoine Dequoy. It went the other way, and it set the tone for a game where the Alouettes defense in particular really dominated. 9 turnovers forced in that game, 4 interceptions. And Montreal, of course, goes on and beats Winnipeg to win the Grey Cup. Now, in a game this decisive now, you still wonder about this decision at the end of the half on that kick that ended up going to Toronto. And that squib and setting up a field goal in the final play of the half.
Yeah, I mean, presumably they're trying to get the ball to go a little deeper there, get it on the ground, run timeout, not let it get back to Janarian Grant. But the fact that they don't, it did. It changed the face of the game. It changed from an emotional point of view, changed the momentum of the game from a strategic point of view.
Caught at the 20. Barely a minute to go. Hardy.
You even go back strategically to when Ottawa trailed by 15. And they score a touchdown. Like if they hadn't given up the 3 points and instead of 15, that's 12, you don't have to go for 2 though. Right? And going for 2 left it as a 2-score game at that point, and yeah, just costly with the amount of time left. You know,
there are 2 offsetting fouls, 15-yard penalty. Ottawa number 54, Toronto 94. The clock will start on the snap.
You look at the squib versus, look at what Toronto's done on their kickoffs all day today.
Yeah.
Right? With the moonshot kicks, it's not getting to the deep returner if your fear is Janarian Grant. The guys in the next row aren't going to return the ball. The clock's going to run out. You go to the dressing room with a 6-point lead.
That one's caught by Acklin, who had a touchdown earlier in this game, and back then had given the Redblacks the lead. Late in the half, after the Acklin touchdown, they had a 6-point lead. Looked like they were going to take that to the dressing room until the aforementioned short kick that led to the field goal to cut their lead to 3 at the half. And you're right, from a momentum point of view, that really hurt the Redblacks, and the Argos jumped on it. A couple of touchdowns, quick touchdowns to start these.
Well, it was gift points, and again with Toronto receiving to start the second half, and Toronto comes out and scores a touchdown. Like, Toronto had back-to-back possessions. So you said it at the time, Rod. Drew Brown goes off the field with 6 seconds left in the first half, and he has a 6-point lead. The next time he even sets foot on the field, they're behind. Toronto has scored 10 points before Ottawa's offense has even had a chance to get back on the field.
41-9 the score in favor of the Argos since the decision. Just a minute to go in this East semifinal, and the Argos in charge and continuing to flex their muscle as Jake Ceresna is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Jake Ceresna, who started his CFL career with the Ottawa Redblacks.
Yeah, left side of your screen. Fights his way through 2 offensive linemen to get a hand on that one. Serezna, who is impactful as he was, 8 sacks from his defensive tackle spot. That's actually his first pass knockdown of the year.
Coming with a minute to go. And then the Argos are going to be off to Montreal to face the Alouettes. In that game, for the right to go to Vancouver and break up 111. Blitz coming. He gets rid of it. Martner with it inside the 10, but Academic now with a 26-point difference. And an injured player, Deshaun Amos, is down. One of the stars of the secondary for the Argos. So we know Toronto's going to Montreal for the Eastern Final. Who will be going to Winnipeg in the West? Trevor Harris, Vernon Adams. Once teammates with the Alouettes, A.J. Ouellette, William Stanback. And the BC Lions. Hey, third-place teams have done it before. Remember the Blue Bombers of 2019. They had to go on the road, win a couple of road games to get to the Grey Cup, and they won it. So the Lions keeping the faith. The Riders, though, look great against them. The last time they met just 3 weeks ago.
What do you say?
When Saskatchewan clinched a home playoff date. Amos is still down. And that's the thing about this for the Argos now. They know they're moving on. It's the injury concerns. Defensive halfback and veteran Deshaun Amos.
Well, you'll see Amos here coming up to make the tackle. You see him grab his left leg there immediately. It looked like Martner's left knee caught him on the inside of his knee. Obviously concern here for the Argos. Again, Deshaun Amos. Kind of a quiet second half to the season for him, but made a lot of big plays for them through the first 9 or 10 games of the year. Went on to earn their nomination as most outstanding defensive player. Toronto perhaps fortunate to have a little bit of depth at halfback, having picked up second-year man Kenneth George. He's getting some time now. He came over from Hamilton. He was released there when they went through their coaching changes defensively.
And Amos also with the connection, as many Argos do, to the Calgary Stampeders, part of the team in 2018 on the roster that year when Calgary won the Grey Cup, but favoring that leg as we saw as he walks it off with some help. Big part he has been of that Argonaut secondary. 5 interceptions to lead the way for Toronto in 2024. And walking a little better as he heads off to the sideline. To the end zone and a touchdown late in this one for Braylon Addison. Not enough in this day with 40 seconds to go, but upwards of 40 points being put up by the Redblacks. In the first half especially, offense was not the problem.
Yeah, Addison's free release to the flat, gets a little rub from Khalil Pimpleton. Upfield, making it hard for Mark Milton to get out there in coverage.
It's commonly said as a team faces the end of the season looking for something to build on, but the Redblacks, when you look back at 2024 and the 2-point conversion try doesn't work out, intended for Hardy. But Wayne, this is an Ottawa team that's seen a lot of hard times since that last postseason game in the Grey Cup 6 years ago. And yes, something to build on. A great home record and a winning record overall, secured last week against Hamilton at 9-8-1. But I think something for fans to look forward to next year.
Yeah, certainly. You mentioned the record, obviously a positive with the turnaround there, but it's not just the record, it's not just the results, right? You talk all the time in building a team about process, and a lot of it is about having the right people. And when you look at guys like Drew Brown, for example, Dominic Rhymes coming back, bringing in a Darius Pickett. Darius played it. Bob Dice talked to us this week about how unique it's been this year, not just the camaraderie of the team, which he loves, but the fact that a lot of the guys in leadership roles are guys that were new to the team this year and sort of stepped in and were assimilated into those roles very quickly. So you've got a lot of pieces there to build and grow with going forward for the Ottawa Redblacks.
Drew Brown was 8-6-1 as a starter his first year as a CFL starting quarterback, coming over and I'm sure learning a lot under Zach Collaros and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And we talked about the single team record for points. Now the Argos are third, but you combine these points today, that ties a playoff record in CFL history. Most combined points scored in a single game at 96. Short kick. Saw Lewis Ward do this well a couple of weeks ago, but that time the Argos are ready, and it's, look who it is, Tavares Daniels taking it off the hop. Ward, a couple of weeks ago as Ottawa tried to come back, executed 2 of those as Ottawa got the ball and ended up scoring.
Well, no doubt there was a little PTSD for the Argos. With Lewis Ward lining up for that short kick, given the way that those turned out for Toronto in the regular season. But as you said, they get it done, and this goes back to what we talked about, right? The adversity of it during the regular season, they got things cleaned up with the Hands team in the playoffs.
Learn from it. Victory formation, Nick Arbuckle out. They get set for the first Eastern Final in Montreal since 2012. By the way, that one back in 2012, it was the Argos against the Alouettes, in Toronto had a new assistant coach that year, the quarterbacks coach by the name of Jason Moss. Might remember that year. But it was the Alouettes triumphant a year ago in the East Final here at BMO Field. And now the Argos will be hoping to return the favor next week at Molson Stadium in Montreal. The Alouettes, the defending champions, have other ideas, I'm sure, looking to get back to the Grey Cup for a second straight year. Ball down, game over, Argos win, and moving on to the Eastern Final for a 4th straight year. They defeat the Ottawa Redblacks 58-38.
Well, convincing effort put forth by the Toronto Argonauts here. After these two teams had split their regular season matchups, each team having dominating moments during those regular season games. In the rubber match here, Ottawa hung tough for a long time, went toe-to-toe leading at halftime of this ball game, but the Toronto Argonauts, on the strength of their big plays, both offensively and defensively, despite a CFL record 46 completions by Drew Brown in this game.
Chad Kelly's numbers 18 for 20, 358, 4 touchdowns, no picks, standing by with Matthew.
Chad, that's a playoff record for points for the Argos. Is this the most explosive team in the CFL?
No, we're just trying to keep on working hard every day, stack good days on top of good days. And just try to get better each and every day.
And to that point, does it feel like unfinished business now that you're going to Montreal in the East Final?
We're just trying to get better each and every day. 1-0 is our mentality.
Thank you for this.
Go Argos.
Chad Kelly didn't need much time when it came to some of those touchdowns that they ended up driving for as well. But The Argonauts, not as good in the regular season in terms of record as last year where they finished 16-2. But as he had talked about, not how you start, it's how you finish. The Argos hoping to make that next step and get to the Grey Cup. But first, the Alouettes stand in their way. That's our Eastern Final matchup. Thank you for watching this East semifinal from Toronto. Have a great night, everyone.